The next guest of my podcast is a chess genius.
Yeah, there's something that I would want to learn from each and everyone.
He became a grandmaster at 12. He first defeated Magnus Carlsen when he was just 16.
Obviously, I have ambitions to become world champion.
This year, he has participated in the candidates tournament and he has won the Olympic gold with Team India.
Yeah, I was surprised, but I knew that we could do something like this.
In this episode, Praggnanandhaa Rameshbabu has told me how he works on chess and on his mental fitness.
I think I could get out of the previous game quickly compared to other players.
We've also discussed the skills of his friends and competitors.
Seeing Arjun's game recently, it has inspired me a lot. The way he creates, this is something that I would like to learn and like to incorporate in my game as well.
Do not miss this episode. Hey guys, welcome to Chess with Mustreader, and today I am honored to present to you my new guest, Praggnanandhaa Rameshbabu, the legend, the Indian prodigy who has climbed the world rankings in a fascinating fashion, who has broken into the world elite in the very young age, who has become a legend and one of the most popular sports people in India and in the world. Pragg, thank you very much for joining me today.
Yeah, thank you.
So I have lots of questions to you, and I'm sure it will be a fascinating discussion. I would like to start with the following. I've been checking your interviews, both recent ones and old ones. And in one of them, I saw that you said your goal in chess, you were much younger back then, your goal in chess is to break the 3,000 fide rating barrier, which is very impressive. So do you still think this is your main goal in chess, or have your priorities shifted?
No, that was mainly for fun. Yeah, that wasn't a real thing. I mean, my friends there suggested me while I was doing the interviews. I just said it for fun. Obviously, 3,000 is like, I mean, it's not possible when the others are like 2,800. Yeah, so it's just, the rating doesn't work that way. So like even 2,900 is kind of not. It's possible, but it's not at all easy, because there is this. Even if you make a draw against a 2,800, you will lose a couple of points, which is how the fide ratings work. So it's not really possible.
Yeah, I guess that's why Magnus seems to have abandoned this quest for 2,900. But I was really impressed by this goal that you declared. What is the real goal these days for you?
Yeah, for me, I just try to take it tournament by tournament. For now, I just want to get my rating up, and in general, fight in every game, and that's how I see it. And I think I've already been experienced in top level events, so I think I should try to win some of them.
Mm-hmm. It's interesting that I've recorded past podcasts with some like maybe already a couple of dozen of members of the World Chess Elite, and I would say that there is a split between them. One group is guys like you who say, I just want to play good chess, to improve, to maybe win some tournaments, but no exact like big ambitious goal
Obviously,
that they declare.
Sorry to cut you off. Like, obviously, I have ambitions to become world champion.
Yeah,
but that's a long-term thing. And for now, for next like a couple of 3 months, I just want to. What I just said is what I want to do. So.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I wanted to speak about the long-term goal, because obviously short-term, just improve, win some games. But so you are in the second group then, because the first group are the guys who say, yes, I just want to play good chess to improve. And the second group are the guys who say, I want to become the world chess champion, or anything of a similar kind. So, for example, Grishuk said, I don't believe in long-term goals. You do believe in long-term goals, right?
Yeah, I think both are connected. Only if you can achieve your short-term goal, you'll eventually reach the long-term. So I think I'm like mixed between one and two. I don't know if there is third one.
How do you approach this process of setting goals for yourself? Because I know in business, for example, people set like 1 year goals or maybe goals for a quarter of a year. Do you have something similar for your chess careers? Like you sit down with maybe your coach, your team, and discuss what you need to do in this particular year?
Not really. I know myself well. I know how I'm playing, and yeah, so that's how I set myself goals. I don't think like sitting with someone discussing that, okay, we should achieve this by this time. I don't think it works like that. Yeah, it just gives you a lot of pressure, and if you don't achieve them, you'll just start to feel like you've failed or something like that. So it's just, I don't think it's the ideal way to do it. For me, I do have these goals, but these are not these are not something that will be there on my mind every day. For me, I just want to focus on what's in front of me right now, and if it's just a game, I just want to play that game well. If it's a tournament, I just want to do the tournament well. So yeah, that's how I see it.
And you mentioned in the Chess Base India interview to Sagar, I think a year ago, after your impressive result in the World Cup, you said that you try to not concentrate on the result too much. And the same I heard from Arjun when he was on my podcast. And I'm always like fascinated by this, because how can you not be too emotionally invested in the result when chess is a sport, a competitive sport, and obviously everybody wants to win? Maybe you can share some of your life hacks in this aspect.
No, I think the way it works is that you want to give your best. I definitely want to win my game, but you can only do so much in one game. You can only play half of the game. The rest half is played by your opponent. And if your opponent plays extremely well, you can't do anything. And okay, if your opponent doesn't play well, you will win. So it just depends on that. Not everything is in your hands. So the thing in your hand is just you can give your best and you can play well. So apart from that, you can't do much. You can't decide the result. Yeah. So that's how I see.
So you mean that if your opponent plays like an engine, the best you can hope for is a draw, right?
Yeah, I mean that's how chess is. But obviously, no one is gonna just play the top choice of engine throughout the game unless it's their opening prep. Yeah. So.
Yeah. So, but what if you like? I want to dig deeper into this, because I think this will be very useful for many of our listeners and viewers who are chess players. Obviously, not as strong as you, but still, they get too emotionally invested in the result. They tilt during the game. They experience some emotions that get in the way of making good chess moves. So, any life hacks from you on how to avoid this? Obviously, you're also human and do this sometimes, but you've you've maybe not perfected this art, but from what I've heard, you are very good at this.
Yeah, obviously, I'm also trying to do it. It's not that I'm like 100% in the zone. Yeah, I also get upset after a game. I also have this bad feeling, and if I win, I also get excited sometimes. But I think sort of okay at this, that even if I get excited, it'll only last for a few minutes. Or if I get very upset, it will also last for only a few minutes, and then I'm back to being normal. And yeah, I think I could get out of the previous game quickly compared to other players.
How do you do it? Do you have any rituals, any like meditation or anything of this sort?
I mean, maybe other things will also work, but for me, I think I was like this from a very young age. So I didn't do anything special for this specifically. From an young age, even if I lost, I didn't really bother too much. And if I won, also I was like in the same way. So obviously, I mean, I was quite happy if I played a good game and I won, and disappointed if I didn't give my best. But yeah, I don't think I sit with that for the entire day till I play my next game. It's not how I see it. I can get out of it quite quickly.
Do you do anything in particular, like after like a painful loss or some other game that you feel horrible about?
Nothing much. I think every player has different routines after the game. But for me, I just try not to think about the game. And I used to analyze my game sort of in depth, like spending like 20 minutes or something looking at my game during the tournament. But I realized that it may not be the right time to do it, and I don't really look at my game like I don't really analyze my game during the event. So that's one way to just try to forget about the game and maybe do something else. I don't know, or watch something, or go for a walk, or play something, or I don't know. Have dinner is one way to relax you. You're not thinking
Mm-hmm.
about the game. There are different ways, and I think um, it is up to the individual to decide which one works for them.
Yeah, obviously there are individual preferences. I've heard, from various sources that you like going for walks. So this is also a trait of many successful chess players, world chess champions, in particular. I think Kramnik said that it's like necessary to walk for many hours after a difficult game. Also, you mentioned that you do not analyze your games after during the tournament after they've been played, which is, I think, not common, right? I think most players are eager to come back to the hotel room and turn on the engine and see where they went wrong. So you avoid this temptation.
No. I do that. I don't mean that I completely avoid looking at my game. It's not like that. I do look at my game. I do analyze them. I don't know, for 5 minutes maximum. Wherever I'm curious, I will look at it. If something that I don't understand, I will definitely look deeper into it. And I do that, but I don't go too much into my mistakes, or too much into the most. I played the best. It's like wherever I kind of don't understand, I do check them deeply. But maximum time I've spent is 10 minutes analyzing my games. If I do it too much, that means that I'm still attached to that game, and still thinking about that game, which is not good for the next one.
I understand. And what about in between tournaments? You must probably analyze your games in deeper detail. How do you do it? Because I've heard some GMs say that it's better to do this without an engine. Some do it with an engine. What's your approach?
Yeah, I don't think there is a particular way. I've also heard about people spending like days in the past to uh, analyze their game, try to find something. They'll just think about their game again, and they'll try to come up with new ideas themselves. But I don't think it's okay. I don't know. Maybe it's still a possible way. But the way things are, we play so many tournaments in a year that you just don't have so much time to sit and look at games like that. So I mean, obviously, I do spend some time after the tournament to see where things went wrong, if they went wrong, or where things went well, if the tournament went well, and try to compare like what happened between two tournaments, and just to think about like what went right and what went wrong, and also maybe take some individual moments from each game to see if there are any patterns, and to see if I have to work on them. So this is how I do it. And I also do it with my trainer, RB Ramesh sir. So he also helps me with this.
Mm-hmm. I'm interested in your chess improvement routine. Obviously, you are already at the very top and extremely proficient in all aspects of chess. But I've heard that you, just like many other young chess prodigies, are very hardworking and work a lot on your chess. So how do you spend your time? Can you explain like maybe the usual day, let's say in between tournaments, when you are not resting, but when you are working on your chess? What do you do?
Yeah, it's been a long time since I had such a day. To be honest, have been have been playing tournaments continuously, like since like candidates. So there hasn't been a day where I can say that okay, I'll spend a day looking at chess. Going back to my normal routine is, yeah. To be honest, I haven't been at home, while resting or while taking a break from tournaments. So it has been tough. But in general, if I'm at home and if I have time to look at chess, if I'm fresh, then yeah, I do spend quite some time on chess, like 8 hours or something. I do try to touch all parts of the game. I do spend some time, thinking about some positions or solving some positions and things like that. And also, some part will be on opening.
If we speak percentage-wise, how big of a chunk of time do you spend on opening prep? How big chunk of time you spend on solving puzzles and other stuff?
It varies. It depends on if I'm going to tournament immediately, if I don't have a tournament, or it depends on my mood and so on. Also, it depends if I'm curious on something and I dig deeper. Yeah, so there are such cases. And let's say if I have tournament, obviously openings will be. I would spend more time on openings, and if there is no tournament, and yeah, again, it depends on my mood that day. If I don't feel like looking at openings, then I'd spend more time on trying to solve some things or look at some games from the past or something like that.
Who's your favorite chess player of the past?
In general, my favorite chess player is Magnus. But from the past, if I have to pick, I was shown a lot of games of Kasparov when I was like 7, 8. So that definitely made a huge impression on me.
Interesting. But stylistically, would you say that you are similar to Kasparov or rather some other players?
No, I wouldn't say that I'm similar to Kasparov in style, but I think I was similar at some point, maybe. Like while I was growing up, I don't know, till I became a grandmaster, I was a sharp player. I think I had very good sense of tactics, and I mean I still do. But those times that was my only skill. I was very good at sensing tactics. I was good at sensing if it's the time to attack and things like that. But over a period of time, I've become more universal, I'd say.
Yeah, it's always fascinating to see how chess players evolve because, yeah, nowadays you are considered, well, at least by many, a very high level positional player, very technical, great at end games and stuff like this. But your favorite chess player is Kasparov, and you used to be like an attacking machine. You still win some games in such fashions. In such fashion, I remember some games from the World Cup, for example. But yeah, your style has changed, and this is very interesting. Let's discuss your recent tournaments. I really wanted to speak to you about the candidates. How do you think it went for you overall? What's your conclusion on the basis of this? And any lessons learned from this tournament? What you maybe could have done better, or are you satisfied with the results? So please describe your feelings towards this event.
Yeah, I think I did play well in most of the games, but some games just didn't go my way. I could have maybe avoided the losses which I had, but saying that, some games you win, some games you lose, so you can't really know what's gonna happen. I mean, we worked a lot for candidates, and I think you could see from my opening ideas in candidates. So yeah, and I mean in general, I think those hard work will never go in waste. So I think it was a very good experience for me, and in terms of playing candidates, yeah, it was also a good experience. And I I had this unfortunate loss with Hikaru, which I could have avoided. I could have played solidly and made a draw there, but instead I tried to keep the game going in a position where I should have been a bit more careful, and okay, I should have said, okay, this is not a game to try, and and just made a draw, then I would have still be on +1, still with some outside chance. But that loss just ruined my chances. But in general, at some point I was, middle of the tournament I was on +1. I also missed this huge chance against Jan. I was winning out of the opening, which I should have taken. These chances actually win you tournaments. So missing that was not good.
So some missed opportunities that you've learned from. Any other conclusions that you made for yourself?
Yeah, definitely. I think this tournament, requires a lot of preparation and stuff, but also it's also like any other tournament. You still have to be in very good mental shape and physical shape throughout the event, and it does happen that towards the end of the tournament you'll get a lot of chances because like I did against Hikaru, people will start to take more chances because you have to, first place or it's basically nothing. So everyone will start to go for it, and so towards the end you just have to wait and you will get your chances and take it. I think that's one thing that happens in candidates. No, I wouldn't say that I lost that game against Hikaru because I over pushed or something like that. Hikaru did play well, but if I had been more careful, and I could have just taken a draw. That's what I mean.
Yeah, it's a very, very difficult area of chess, knowing when to stop pushing and be satisfied with the draw, even for top players. You said you mentioned keeping good mental and physical shape. Have you? Well, obviously you are very young, but have you paid attention to this area as well, like working out, stuff like this?
I think it is very important, both aspect. I would say mentally is also sometimes underestimated because there are many aspects in mental fitness, and I would say that I'm still working on it and trying to get into the right mindset. Things like getting burnt out, how to avoid them, and I think these all come into the mental aspect, which I'm still trying to learn.
How do you not get burnt out? Because you work so much on chess, you play so many tournaments. Do you have maybe some hobbies to have outside chess to not get too burnt out?
Yeah, I do, but still, when you play the tournaments I play, you tend to get burnt out, and sometimes I do have that feeling, and then I just try not to look at chess for a couple of days and then come back to it once I'm fresh. So that's one of the ways to look at it.
On my Twitter, when I asked my subscribers for ideas for questions to you, many have asked to inquire what you do in your free time. So obviously you don't have much, but like when you don't look at chess, what do you do?
I watch some movies. I also play some sport, but it also depends where I am on my free time. If I am at home, I'll try to spend with my family and maybe go out if it's possible. But when I'm in tournaments, I go for walks, watch something, I don't know, movie series, something to calm myself, and these are some of the things, or read something on some topic which I'm interested in, so something like that.
Any book recommendations by you, not chess related?
I don't read too much books, actually.
You read just content on the internet, right?
Yeah.
And you said on the topics that you are interested in, such as?
I don't know, maybe it depends on things I'm curious on that day. I know, suddenly I'm curious about something about space, then okay, I'll try to read about it. Or something from history. If I'm suddenly curious about, I see something written somewhere, then I'm curious about it, I'll just try to go and check it out. So something like that.
Okay, we've briefly discussed the candidates. The recent event that's in the news everywhere, of course, is the Olympiad. I've already congratulated you on the team victory. This was an impressive performance, of course, by all the guys. How does it feel to wake up in the morning being an Olympic champion?
I think it's a big thing for Indian chess. This is something that we didn't have Olympiad gold, and we managed in both sections. So it's a very historic thing, and also the way we won it, winning 11 out of winning 10 out of 11. Yeah, I really hope it inspires many more kids to take up chess in India.
Yeah, I guess it's already an unstoppable trend, judging by at least the juniors that we are all seeing currently, and the number of grandmasters from India that's higher and higher every year. So now, if the trend gets even stronger, I'm afraid there will be no country that is able to compete with India long term in chess. How does it feel? Because I've been to India, but I haven't been in several years. And I'm going to visit definitely, maybe record some content. But I'm interested, how does it feel? Does it really feel like it's a chess boom? Everywhere people are playing chess. Like in the Soviet Union, for example, they used to play in every park. Old men, young men were sitting playing chess. How is it in India in this regard? How would you describe this?
Yeah, it's not like that, but I think slowly we are getting there. The first thing is that to recognize that we have done something in we have achieved something in Olympiad, and I think we are seeing that we are getting so much recognition right now from Indian people, from the government and from everyone. So I think it's just a start, and I mean we have had chess always as a sport that is being taught to like a kid. So I think it'll get even bigger right now. That with this achievement, it'll inspire many more kids to take up chess for sure. I think the parents will encourage.
Yeah, that's definitely what is going to happen. And you've met recently with the Prime Minister of India. We had to reschedule the podcast recording because of that. That's a fun fact about this episode. How was it, and what did you discuss, if it's not a secret?
Yeah, we had a good conversation. We didn't expect the Honorable Prime Minister to spend more than 1 hour with us. We were just talking, conversing about a lot of topics and about decision making, and how hectic it is to travel and so on. So all these things, and it was very good conversation we had. It shows that chess is becoming one of the main sports in India. So I'm very happy to see that the leader of the country is recognizing our efforts. So it's very good to see.
Yeah, I wonder if Mr. Modi wanted to learn some chess mentality to get a better grasp on the politics, because many people believe that chess players understand strategy, which is applicable not just to chess but also to business, to state governance and stuff like that. Do you believe that it may be useful for politicians, for example, or business people?
Maybe. I mean, I think playing chess helps. If you play chess as an hobby, it definitely helps. But I think this is a myth that chess players are very intelligent and can do anything. But I don't think it's true. I think we are just good at chess. So because we have practiced so many years, we are good at chess. But saying that, we have gained a lot of skills by playing chess, such as we have to make decisions every single move, and in life also we have to take decisions so frequently, and also like pattern recognition, and you have to sit and concentrate for many hours. So there are these aspects which help in life. Yeah, playing chess as an hobby is definitely helpful. And I also think that chess players are fast learners. Yeah, in general, we learn faster, like anything faster than like a normal person.
Yeah, it's a very important skill nowadays to be able to learn new stuff fast with with the speed, the world is changing. And also, of course, as you mentioned, the ability to take correct decisions under stress, to be able to assess when to risk, when to push, when not to push. Yeah. So this is obviously a universal skill, not just applicable to chess. Were you surprised by the results that the team has shown in India? Such a dominant performance, or were you expecting it because you had this dream team lineup? All the guys have been performing very well over the past couple of years. So what was your reaction to the way you, not just the victory, but the way you dominated the field?
No, it was a surprise to me. Yeah, I know that we could play like this, but there are also other strong teams. So winning with such a margin it's not at all easy. And so I was surprised, but I knew that we could do something like this. It's not impossible, yeah. So I knew something like this could happen, but it was still a surprise because we had the same team in Asian Games last year.
Mm-hmm.
And in Asian Games, you have basically like 4 or 5 good teams, maximum 4. Like we have Iran, Uzbekistan, Vietnam, China, and these are the main teams with India. Yeah, in this tournament we finished second after Iran, and we made 2 draws against. No, we made 3 draws against Uzbek, Iran, and China. So yeah, we weren't really convincing in that event. And I mean, saying that obviously we have gained a lot of experience at the top. In 1 year, 1 year is a long period. So we are much stronger than what we were 1 year back. But still saying that I didn't think that we would dominate like that.
Yeah, but it was incredible to watch. It was very, very much fun. So I really am happy about the way this Olympiad went. It was a pleasure to watch. I want to ask you about the relations and the dynamics that you have with your teammates. This is also a topic that has been requested by many subscribers to discuss. Obviously, you are both teammates and friends, or at least on good terms, but also to some extent rivals. You are fighting for potentially the World Chess Championship. Well, Gukesh is fighting in this one, but definitely someone, and I'm sure probably many of you guys will continue this fight, and probably some of you will become World Chess Champions. So I wanted to ask you the following question. Who do you think has the best chance of making it to not just to the top 10, but to the World Chess Champion title?
Yeah, I want to answer your previous question that you're asking about the relationship with all the players, like the team bonding. And yeah, we had very good team spirit this time compared to Asian Games. We were having team meetings every day. We were having team dinners also. So we were every day at team meeting. It was more like we were having fun. Yeah, most of the conversation weren't about the next match or like the strategy or something like that. It was always about some fun topics, or just someone is teasing someone, things like that. Just it was more like if some friends got together and just were starting to talk fun stuff. Yeah, so it was, we were all enjoying our time together, and we were I think that showed on board. We were playing as a team, and maybe compared to Asian Games, I think that also changed, that we were having a lot of team spirit. We were enjoying together, and I think that did play a role. And we have all played against each other. We have known each other for a long time. And even Gukesh, I just played before coming here. I played him in Sinkifield, but I don't think it changes anything when you're teammates. We don't discuss too much openings, but apart from that, we talk about everything. We do discuss about our games, if there are any interesting moments and so on. So yeah, only thing we don't touch is opening preparation and stuff. But yeah, apart from that, we are all very good friends, and yeah, we talk about everything, and we have good relation with each other.
That's nice to hear. But what about the rivalry? Do you feel the rivalry in between you guys?
No, I wouldn't say rivalry. I would say it is an healthy competition between us. I think that's what keeps us going, inspires us. When one does well, you can see that the other guy also does well in like immediate events. So I think that's the reason we are saying like someone is doing something like in every tournament. So and I think it's good for all of us.
So coming back to my question, who has, in your opinion, the best chances to become the very top in the world chess out of you guys? If we take you, Gukesh, Arjun, and Vidit.
Yeah, I don't think I can predict at all. We are all trying to give our best. We are all working hard. We are all working on our weakness, working on our strength. We are all motivated. So I don't think I can really predict what's gonna happen. Yeah, I can never predict what's gonna happen, and also that if every month basically the rating changes and someone is at top, and I don't think it actually matters so much. Yeah, I can't really answer this question. This is this is quite hard. Like, you can't really predict.
Yeah, I understand. Then let me rephrase this question in a different way. Recently, I've discussed with Daniil Dubov on the podcast the topic of chess talent. There was some controversy because Daniil said that Fabi is the least talented chess player out of the world elite. He didn't mean it in a bad way. He said he's a hardworking guy, and this is even more deserving for him to be at the top. But this was controversial. Many people reacted in a negative way to this. So I wanted to ask you, whom do you believe to be the most talented out of you guys? And maybe you can speak about most talented tactically, most talented positionally, or somehow in some other way. I wanted to ask you to try to compare you guys, because you have different styles, and it's interesting how you view this.
Yeah, we have to like kind of understand what is talent first of all. Different talent, like talent in some specific area. For example, like someone is tactically gifted from the start, you can sense that. Or someone is like very good at endgame without much hard work, like you can see their talent. Yeah, they're just gifted endgame players, something like that. Or talent could also be that someone is good at learning something, or good at working, and yeah, all these can be said as talent. Yeah, I don't know what exactly means by talent. I guess it's just, there's it in general, the talent of chess, maybe that's how he says it.
Yeah,
So
probably.
I don't know, like I don't really understand the thing, like I haven't followed that, so I can't really answer about that. But yeah, if I have to pick like who's the most talented guy, I don't know, like it's so hard. We are all very hardworking. We all like chess. I mean, in that case, we are all very similar. We are all very passionate about the game. If you leave all of us in a room, we can sit there, discuss about the chess, discuss about some positions or some games for the whole day. So we all have that, and yeah, so I don't really know who's the most talented among all of us.
Maybe we can speak about strengths. Maybe you can name one strength, one area that you would like to maybe learn from your friends and competitors from this list that I mentioned. Maybe let's go by this.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, there is something that there's something that I would want to learn from each and everyone. So I mean, seeing Arjun's game recently, it has inspired me a lot. The way he creates opponent's mistake basically. Like he creates positions in such a way that the opponent crumbles under pressure. So this is something that I think I should learn, because compared to me, I do make a lot of draws, and I think the main reason to it is maybe because I try to play what's the best move. And I don't mean that Arjun doesn't play well or something like that. I mean that he plays uncompromising chess, that it makes his opponent make mistake, and this is something that I would like to learn and like to incorporate in my game as well. Same thing with Gukesh. They both are somewhat similar in that way. They both are they both play very uncompromising chess. If you see their games, they like most of the time they just lose control of the game. But it's the same for both of them. They're like both them and their opponent. So they're and then they outplay their opponent in that mess. Even if they're like worse, they will still outplay their opponent. So yeah, this is something that I should learn and maybe try in my games.
That's an interesting observation. And what would be the difference between Gukesh's and Arjun's playing styles?
Yeah, they both are different in certain way. I mean, now Gukesh is also improved, like much better in openings compared to like last year. And Arjun is also very good at openings. He has been good at openings. He plays various stuff, like compared to Gukesh also plays broad repertoire, but I think Arjun has even broader repertoire than Gukesh and me. So yeah, that's one different thing. Like the way I was also saying, I think Arjun does it often, that he just creates something, compared to Gukesh, who's like in between me and Arjun, I would say. Yeah, like he also creates uncompromising positions, but he could also play solidly and can also just try to play the best move. So he could also play solidly, like compared to Arjun. Arjun is always, that's what they call him, madman. Yeah, so he just goes for it every game. And like Gukesh, if you see in candidates, he was so stable. Like he didn't have a single bad positions. Maybe against Fabi when he was black, but still, like he wasn't like losing in any game. So yeah, he was very stable there. So I think Gukesh could and in Olympiad, if you see, he was playing uncompromising chess. So that's something that I should try to maybe incorporate in my game.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for those insights. What about Vidit?
I think we are similar in some cases. We both are. Yeah, we both try to play the best move, even if it's gonna like make the position solid against anyone. Let's say we are playing against some lower players, we'll still make the best move if we think that that's the best move. Yeah. So in those cases, I think we are similar. Our styles are also similar. We are positional, and um, yeah, we are also. I think it's also very solid and very hard to crack. And recently has also been playing really well in Grand Swiss. We saw that there was a like incredible performance after losing the first game to win the tournament. Yeah, he's also been playing really really inspiring chess recently.
There is one more player from India who is also very often in the race for top one in India. Obviously, I'm talking about the legend Vishy Anand. What would you say about him? Which qualities, which strengths would you like to borrow from him?
Yeah, the feel for the game is incredible. Answer. I like Magnus. I think like I've played a lot of blitz with Anand sir, and makes quick moves, but those moves are actually the best moves. Yeah, I might need some time to make those decisions, but it's very good at doing that. And I think the generation like Vishy sir, Kramnik sir, and everyone, they have this feel for the game, which is really strong. Like they just feel like this move can't be the best move. But in our generation, we'll still try to calculate and make sure it actually doesn't work. But they can just feel that. So that feel for the game is It's really at high level.
So maybe this is the talent that some people are talking about.
Yeah, there are different talents, of course. So, yeah, I don't know what exactly that's being said on the podcast. I didn't look at it, so I don't know.
Yeah, Daniel did not explain this, so I'm also trying to speculate. Okay, Dean versus Gukesh. Obviously, by this point, one player is in amazing shape, the other is not. But still, I want to ask you about your predictions for the match. Arjun said it's going to be a massacre. What do you think? Will it be a massacre? Who will massacre whom?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it could be a massacre. I don't think it's impossible. But I mean, as someone who has followed World Championship like for a long time, I would like starting from 2013, not very long, but obviously I've seen all the games from the past. I would hope for some exciting games and hope for like close match, so that we will see some exciting games and fun stuff. But I think that, I mean, seeing the current form, that Gukesh is obviously a favorite. That's no doubt about it. But saying that like World Championship is a completely different event, and we saw last year how Ding lost the second game, and then he gave this press conference about saying like I'm not I'm not feeling here. I'm like depressed state or something, but still he managed to come back and win the match. So it's, I mean, he could definitely recover. He could definitely be in the best shape before the World Championship match. So we don't know what's going to happen, and I think that's the reason it provides a lot of excitement.
Yeah, it's going to definitely be exciting. What's your like percentage-wise odds for Gukesh winning, Dean winning?
Yeah, I'm not good at it, but I would probably say around 60 to Gukesh and 42.
Okay. We will see. Guys, write in the comments if you want part 2 of this podcast. Maybe later on, after Pragg will have amazed us by some new impressive victories and results. And after Pragg will have become an even bigger celebrity in India and worldwide, which is definitely, I think, what is going to happen. Thanks again, and good luck in your upcoming tournaments.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, guys, don't forget to click the like button, to comment on this one, and to subscribe to the channel. Stay tuned for the upcoming podcast episodes and solo videos. See you in the next one.